afternoon and welcome to the second part of this TNS episode. I wanted to play this in the background, but then I felt that I had to really share this in an episode and with you guys. There have been some developments in the meantime, and I'm really looking forward to where this goes in the following episodes and progressing on this save and moving forward with it, really. But yeah, we just finished our final game of the season. The season's done. 36 points clear of second place, 38 points clear of third place. Absolutely smashed it. We've beat the record for most number of wins. We beat the record for most number of points in a single season. 141 goals scored, only 20 conceded, 121 goal difference, 101 more goals. Just close this window. 101 more goals than second place, which is truly amazing. We have the TNS v Carnarvon final in 8 days, which is the JD Welsh Cup final, which I'm really looking forward to. But if I go to my profile, I have agreed to move on after 10 years at TNS. I have agreed to move on. Let's just quickly go here. 1905 April, May, February, March, April, May 1905, which is how many days at 19 plus 5. Oh my gosh, no, I've just realised that that is, oh no, oh shocker. That is short. That is something like 19 plus 5. That's 24 days. That's 21. Oh no, I would be so many days off. A backup. Right, let's quickly go into here a minute. That would be so many days off, 10 years, which is that achievement which I've been working for. Let's hope there's a backup save. Okay, I can deal with that. So we're going to save game as achievement chase. Okay, we're going to double save that, and that's going to be a backup as an achievement chase, just so I can reload that in the meantime and achieve 10 years, because I think I was like 60 days off then. That achievement which I've been working really hard for, which sort of spoils it really, but I have agreed to move on from TNS after a decade at the club, falling short of 60 odd days of a decade, which is a great shame. But yes, if I go back to my profile, I have agreed to join Newcastle. Newcastle is who I will be joining. Their manager Jose Mourinho had resigned, and he will be going, and he has taken over the Portuguese national team following the resignation of Andre Villas-Boas, who has gone to Inter Milan after Inter Milan have sacked their manager. But what I have been, Newcastle must have been full of money, because they offered me £90,000 a week. £90,000 a week when I'm on 3.7k a week here. Then I asked them for a 3-year contract. They said no, 2 years, and I bumped it up to £110,000 a week, I think, or 105. So I negotiated an extra 15 grand a week, which, you know, is an extra £60,000 a month, which is an extra £720,000 per year. After tax, you're probably looking at, you know, 360. So that's £360,000 extra in my pocket every year. But I'm really looking forward to getting to the Premier League. And really looking forward to, you know, earning some great money. I know that people say they don't negotiate big money contracts in the game because they don't see much point in it. You can't spend it, and you know, they'd rather their club have a bit more freedom of, you know, money being available. But in that sense, you know, it gives me a bit more job security, because if they were to sack me, you know, they might think twice because they have so much to pay off. And then might not sack me if I was to be in that position, or if I do get sacked, then I have a huge payoff. Which, you know, if I'm thinking in realistic terms of how I play the game, you know, that's the kind of job security that you want, and puts you in a really good position then if you were to be sacked, and then have to come back to TNS. But I've been, look, the under-19s have won the Development League once again, 14 points clear of second place. Absolutely smashed it. They've got an amazing squad once again. Matt Jarvis, what a man. Player there, Alan Allen, has absolutely smashed it in the final game of the season. But here we are, Matt Jarvis, what a man. You know, he would be one of my recommendations to take over as the next first team manager of TNS. He's been at the club 10 years. He's developed so many youth players. He's worked really well with the coaches. He's, you know, won the FA Welsh Youth Cup. He's won the Development League. They've done well in Europe for the Youth Cup. They've absolutely done well under him. And if I look at my other staff, and you know, full staff, you know, got Carl Darlington, which would also be another recommendation of mine. Fantastic assistant manager. Previously at the club, has his pro license. You know, obviously his stats aren't there, but again, great commitment and loyalty from him. Former manager as well. Emerson Boyce is coming with me. He will step down from being an assistant manager and move more into a coaching role. Unfortunately, I would have took the entire coaching team with me, but they already have so many great coaches at Newcastle. But I'm taking Nathan Jones with me as well. I would have recommended him to be in the frame for manager as well. James Rowbury would be on my extended list of managers. I'm taking Sam Hutchinson with me. But yeah, but if I was recommending, it would be Carl Darlington, James Rowbury, Matt Jarvis would be the top out of those three in terms of my recommendations. And I'd also recommend Sean Wharton to take over as manager. He is 62 years of age, but he has been at Carnarvon for 6 years. He has managed right through the Welsh leagues. He has so much experience behind him. You know, he actually broke our duck in terms of winning the cup in so many years. He's been runner-up, he's been third place, he's been consistent, he's been loyal. He's won 2 cups in his time. He's brought through young players. He's worked on a fantastic budget. He's built a very good record in consideration of, you know, the quality of Carnarvon. You know, he's got positive goal difference, 62% win ratio. He's, you know, won 200 games out of 346. He shows loyalty. You know, for me, he'd be one of my recommendations as the next TNS manager. And my other recommendation would be Scott Rusko, former TNS manager back in 2017, before moving to Bala Town. He has also played some great football. You know, he's 53 years of age. He's been a Bala for 8 years. He's won 200 games out of 340. His win ratio is slightly less, but still very high at 58%. You know, he's in positive goal difference as well. He's won 2 cups and 2 leagues as a manager. You know, he would be a great recommendation. But Sean Wharton for me, because he's been more consistent. He's finished 2nd place. You know, they will both be on that recommendation list for me if I was, you know, to have to recommend. And I think that would be a really good feature, you know, if you was leaving a club at any point in the game on future, and you could literally go and have the opportunity to make a recommendation of the next manager who could take over, whether that be internal or external. And you could look around the coaches or other managers that would be available. But that would be a really cool feature. Or if you could recommend a few and then rank them, that would be a great feature that, you know, SI could look into. Okay, Champions League Cup semi-final first leg, Leipzig versus City. City lost 4-1 to Leipzig. Adam Holzic, 58 million to 91 million, 160k a week. He's wanted by Juventus, 108 caps and 31 goals for the Czech Republic. He moved from Bayern Munich in 2023 and has had a great career since then. Moving to Juventus would be a fantastic move for him. Gustavo Everton and Regen. These are the kind of players that I now need to start looking at now I'm at Newcastle. He's been a brilliant player for them. You know, fantastic games, you know, not much information or data available there. But not a single cap for Japan. Wow. Mokoku, 166 million to 184 million, and he has never been capped by the German national team. 307 league goals, 120 league goals. Two days ago, can I finish on a high with TNS? Can I bring them another cup? I truly hope so. Sean Welsh, what a signing at £73,000. We had a transfer budget of 12 million. We go out, we make small signings at 73k, and what a player. 27 league games, 17 league goals, 13 assists, 6 man of the matches, average rating of 8.16, 39 starts in his overall season, 23 goals. He has just enjoyed the greatest season of football to date, and if he was to stay and I was to stay as manager, his career would absolutely excel. And that's back to my point in the first part of this episode with TNS, where, you know, he's been so lucky to have me as manager, and that is not being bigged up or big-headed as such, but, you know, he's won the Nathaniel MG Cup. I'm not sure why it's not showing the league there, considering he's done a full season with us and has played more than enough games to have registered that win. But he's team of the month, player shortlisted for player of the year, team of the month, player of the month. I'm a bit annoyed why that hasn't registered, why he's won the league. You know, he's about to play another cup final. What a season. Welsh dedicated his monthly award to me. Thank you very much. Another manager of the month award. You know, I'm really going to note these down on a Google Sheets in a minute. You know, the record that I had and everything that I achieved here at TNS. Let me just open these sheets a minute, just so I can make an absolute note of everything. So if I go into TNS data info FM save 22 July 22. If I go into games, GP, games played, games won, games drew, games lost, win percentage, goals for, goals against, goal difference, because you can only see so much of this information at times, which is frustrating once you leave a club, such as goals scored and all that, I think. So if I just go into my history here, so games played 571, I've won, well that's going to be updated in a minute, but 464, 44, 63, let's just take them all down as a note for now. Win percentage, we'll come back to that, but I'll put that at 81% for the time being. 1972 521 1451. Let's just make a quick note of these, just in case I leave and I need to update them. Awards, 81. How much did I spend? Players bought, 113. Value, 10.5 million. Sold, 46. Value, 2.9 mil. 2.9 mil there. Highest fee spent, just drag that out. Adam Reese, 1.2 mil. Highest fee received, that was Thomas McGill, and he was 1.4 mil. Okay, let's just drag that out. Okay, fees paid to agents, 300k. Players released, 52. Okay, let's just make a quick note of them. Data info for FM save, 22, and I'm going to put TNS there. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's put that as 18. Center it, boom, boom. Let's get that in there. Okay, cool. Let's merge them because that's going to cross there for that. Let's get that in there. Let's get all that on the one side. Let's update that color for that. Okay. So I've made a quick note of all that information from TNS. One that I didn't make note of was, let's just copy that and put league wins, 10, cups, 17. Now that would be another great feature for Football Manager there, would be every time you broke a record, even if it does, update or another team beats it, for example. But if you beat however many records, it'd be great to have another one underneath here, or overall records broken, because I know that I broke the record for number of wins in a season. I broke the record for number of points in a season. Records in the cups. That would be fantastic. It'd be great to see, data for, number of times qualified for, Europe or whatever. Maybe that data is available, but I'm not entirely aware where I would find that. But if someone was to point me in the right direction, that would be great. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick note of all of that because I've had a tremendous time at TNS. I've really enjoyed it. If you're playing Football Manager properly, you have to have a database or notes on paper somewhere, because that's how you do play, Football Manager, which is great. I was scrolling through Twitch last night, looking for some new streamers to look at, and I was looking at one for Football Manager, and I saw that in his little screenshot on Twitch when you're scrolling through, that he had a spreadsheet open, so automatically I clicked on his stream, and he was doing an in-depth analysis of the players he was looking at, which was really interesting, and attracted me to it straight away. Okay, Tyler Fleck, he has been called up to the under-20s for Scotland, which is a fantastic experience for him. He's been capped at under-19s level. He's currently wanted by Preston. He's not had a bad season considering as a young player for us. Let's just do a quick save. Almost 4,000 fans in attendance for my final game here at TNS in this World Cup final, which is an amazing turnout in Wales for that kind of final. 4,000 fans. I'm not going to be used to the amount of fans which I will get weekly whilst at St James's Park, whilst at Newcastle. But final ever game here at TNS after a decade at the club. We're going into the final game of the year of this cup final. Okay, here we are, 5 minutes in. I was watching a fellow streamer last night, someone who I've been watching quite regularly, Y Callum, a very good streamer, another great Welsh streamer as well, who was with Chorley, and he made the playoff final last night after, you know, falling from first with Chorley in promotion to the championship, and he wore an actual suit for the final, which was fantastic, and that is how you play Football Manager properly. But you know, for me, this is the 19th final that I have had as a manager. 19th final. Let me just make a quick note of that. Finals 19. 19 finals. 19 as a manager. And this looks like we're off to a very good start against Sean Wharton's team, where we are finding ourselves 2-0 up by half an hour into the game. I would recommend him to take over even for the next few years. It's going to be interesting to see who takes over, you know, what players will fit into his squad, what players he will cut out, what players he will identify, you know, whether players like Adam Rees, Timmy Abraham will perform as good as they have for me. And you know, whether TNS go on to win the league again, which they absolutely should, because whoever's coming in next has a tremendous transfer budget available. So it is a case of, you know, reinvesting in that squad. But you know, it's qualifying for Europe every year, and whether they get out of the group stages and, you know, start making more money, but making sure that they do qualify for Europe by winning the league, and trying to have a good run in Europe to make more money, and playing those big teams at home, which would help them maintain the money in the squad, the transfer budget, and make sure that they have these players available and can keep attracting. So it'll be interesting to see whether TNS do improve as a squad, you know, what kind of manager will they go for, whether it would be someone recommended from the Welsh League or internally, or whether they attract, you know, someone out of work who is a big enough manager, or whether they try and pay compensation for a big enough manager to maintain success here at TNS. So, you know, it will be interesting to see the sort of position and vision of the board in terms of who they do appoint next and how it will, you know, work out. There's many, you know, great saves which I've had where I've been at a club and we've had great success, and then a new manager is appointed, then that success is suddenly stopped, and you know, it isn't the same as what it has been, and you know, it can be difficult once you leave some great players behind. And you know, I'd absolutely love to take, you know, Adam Rees and Timmy Abraham with me, two players at the very least who are, you know, the top of the game for me and who I would choose every time. But you know, coming up from Welsh League standard up to the Premier League is a massive jump, and as to whether, you know, it would be beneficial towards their career, where they could stay at, you know, TNS and hopefully continue to have personal success and club success, would be, you know, detrimental if I was to sign them just to sit around on the bench or, you know, in reserves for you know, Newcastle on my time there. Okay, so we're coming up into 73 minutes. I think it is time for some subs. Adam Reese has been amazing, but Timmy Abraham has to come on for me. Lachlan Brook, after all these years of loyalty, has to come on for me in a cup final and make that appearance. Jerial Dorset has been an amazing player for me over the years. Fantastic form once again, even though not as many games. But for me, Aaron Lewis has had a huge impact whilst I've managed him during my time here, and he has to come on as one of the final subs. Six-1 in the last ever cup final. Lachlan Brook, there we go. What a player he has been. Could he score the final ever goal of my time here at the club? Oh, 7-1. Gareth Palmer, what a player he has been. He's a player that I am going to keep an eye on because he is young, he is progressing, he is at Swansea in the Championship. So, you know, if he could end up growing as a player, could he end up becoming, you know, a Premier League player for the likes of Newcastle? Cameron Haig, my former player, scoring against me there in a 7-2 annihilation in the cup final. But they're still working hard, Carnarvon, and they still never give up. But Timmy Abraham, what a response. Scores 8-2. 8-2. Okay, now we're gonna go up and receive. Usually I skip past these, but this is the final ever JD Welsh Cup final at my time at TNS. I've enjoyed every minute here at the club. Okay, let's update that to 18 cups. Goals 4, let's add on 8 there. Goals against, let's add on 2 more there. Goal difference. Goal difference. Ooh, another 6 there. Okay, update that. Update that. Thank you very much. It has been an absolute honour to have managed here at the club. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've enjoyed my time here. I wish you could do like a leaver press conference again. That would be another great feature. You know, a leavers press conference. Let's just leavers press conference. Recommend. Leaving. Managers. There's 3 recommended features there for me. I'm just making a quick note of those because I think they're quite good to make note of. But yes, our run there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row. Carnarvon stopped us, and then we've gone on and won it another 3 years in a row. But I've won 9 out of those 10 cups. So if I just make another note, let's just go records and accolades. Would help if I could spell today. Accolades, 10-year winning, 10-year league title winning streak, 9 out of 10 JD Cup finals won. 6 years in a row run. I think I've won the other Welsh Cup 10 years in a row. I think so. I'll just have to check that now. Yes, let's just quickly fly through this press conference while we have it. Okay, here we go. Alex Neil, not a great relationship with him. I'm not a big fan of his in real life, as things go anyway. He wants to sign Rooney, who has had a tremendous season. We bought him for 525k. He is only having him for at least 1.5 million if I was to sell him before I leave. My history milestones. Manager of the month 9 times this year. Competitions. See, I wish it wouldn't have all of this. You could filter all that out on the last Foot Manager. Now it's got this full list, and you've got to scroll all the way through. Unless I can filter it as such, but. Milestones, very frustrating that is. See, and even if you go, oh, hired so and so, and like, I don't want to see that really. Nathaniel MG Cup winners. Let's quickly look at the history as past winners. Oh yes, Nathaniel MG Cup, JD Cup Welsh winners, past winners. Carnarvon. Wow, Carnarvon done us in that year. Yes, I do remember actually. I do remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 9. Oh no, I was typing here. 9 out of 10 MG Cup finals won. 6 years in a row run. Again, it stopped only by Carnarvon in the same year, stopping that streak in both. But that was truly, great for them in that sense, because we have absolutely dominated everything during our time, or during my time whilst I've been managing. Again, we finish the season there. Fantastic work from us. 32 games played. I think we went undefeated. Biggest win was 17-0 away win. 3-1 in the Champions League. Was a match to remember. Goal of the season was Rooney's goal with a perfect finish from 22 metres. Our sponsorship and revenue has all gone up. Competition prize money has doubled this year because of our work. Match day and commercial and retail has gone up once again. Corporate and hospitality has gone up. Broadcast revenue has gone up. And sponsorship. See, if I was to stay here, all that would go up really, really well. So you're telling me we only sold 97 shirts all year? Okay. Lachlan Brook was again one of our top sellers. What a player. Absolutely love Lachlan Brook. 60 games unbeaten from 2021. Got to make a note of that. JD Welsh Cup record. 60 games unbeaten from Sep 4th 2021 to 4th May 2031. Undefeated for 10 years in this cup. What? How? I don't get that one though. How can that be undefeated for 10 years? Or how can we have a 60 game unbeaten run in that cup if Carnarvon beat us? We finished the season unbeaten once again. I think that's the 3rd time we have finished unbeaten. Inducted to the Hall of Fame, not Flame. Reece Hutchinson was fantastic player for us, currently out on loan at Grimsby. Mon Louis was fantastic. Sam Bowen was fantastic. Like 9 Livermore. See, I don't like how he is beaten. I would have put Lachlan Brook there, or maybe Tom Allen. Tom Allen and Lachlan Brook achieved so much more than 9 Livermore. Tom Allen is there and Lachlan. Okay. Timmy Abraham is there. See, I would put Adam Rees or even Connor Simpson in there and drop out Nye Livermore, because I like Nye Livermore, but I just think there's players who achieve more than him. Substitutes, Connor Simpson there, and Simon Adams. I think they both done more than Nye Livermore not to be named in that starting 11. Brad Young, he was only out on loan for us for 60 games, but makes that Hall of Fame. Dan Scarr played 115. He's enjoying a great time at Bala, doesn't want to retire, and I hope he doesn't. I hope he continues to do well. Caston Davis still boasts into that squad 5 years later, and he has, ever since leaving us because he thought he was bigger than the club, his career has stagnated, and he should have stayed with us, and he could have had so much more success. And just because he achieved it all and wanted to try and get back into the English League, ended up not being great at all. Danny Redmond, retire as player, 36. He was looking for a director of football role, but he doesn't seem to have that work out, so he has retired. But he was a great player for us, 157 games with 19 league goals. But yeah, he was a great player when he was on form for us, and I'm glad he's still in that proud history. Where are they now? The side of 2022. Although 4 members of the team are now retired, the rest remain to continue involved. Brad Young is at Rangers. Ryan Brobble has returned as an under-19s coach at TNS. Roland Menais, who I actually know and went to school with in real life. I signed him and he was amazing. Decided to go to Burton. Didn't go so well. Went out abroad. We signed him back. Didn't work out so well. We then sold him again, and he has done so well since going abroad. We were scouting him about a year ago just to keep eyes on him, and he was interested in returning at that point. Nye Livermore is at Mansfield. Jordi Gova, he was a great player when we first had him. Took him from Real Madrid and Swansea's experience and training, and he played really well, and he could have stayed and really been something, but he went abroad and he's been loving life ever since. There was a time when we were close to re-signing him, but couldn't because of the work permit that was in place. Which was a shame. Alex Denny, again, he was another player we had return. He was amazing first time round. Decided to go to Cardiff, didn't do well. I believe we took him on loan or bought him. No, we bought him back. And he didn't do so well on that return, which was a great shame. But he's still remembered. Bobby Jones, he's now abroad. He came into us. He wasn't a bad player. DeMario Brown Sterling, when he was playing, he was sometimes a good player, but was too inconsistent. But he's made a career. He's earning 2K a month just to literally train and stay fit. He is literally 29 years of age. He's played for 9 clubs and he's only ever played 27 league games. Now, if that's a career to boast and to be proud of, he can be well happy. He's got another, his contract is expiring, I believe, but if he secures another contract and just continues his career, I'm going to add him to my shortlist for a year. I can't seem to make a offer for him now, even if I was going to get him. Is he retiring? Might be retiring. Connor Simpson. When I first signed Connor Simpson, he had a worldy season at Connors Quay, and then when we signed him, he kept Declan McManus out of the squad, and then I had to try and fit them in. But he had 2 unbelievable seasons. 3rd season wasn't too bad, was more of a rotate. The 4th season then, he didn't do so well, and we had to loan him out, and he done quite well at Eastleigh, and I decided to bring him back into the fold. Didn't really fit part of my plans, and now he's at Gloucester. He wasn't happy, but I'm glad he is getting game time and playing and staying fit. 68 league goals in 94 games for us. Goes to Gloucester, only 20 and 87. It's mad how times can change. Ash Baker, another player who was consistent, strong and amazing. thought he could go out and achieve bigger things. Tried it, then ended up at Cheltenham after Burton, then played for Telford, and made something of his time at Telford. But he could have had so much more success if he had stayed with us. Matthew Blake plays for Newtown. He wasn't, such a great player. One of those we sort of won't remember. Adam Roscoe is now a scout. He did play for us, but wow, his scouting days are absolutely shocking. Let's just look at his career stats. Yeah, he wasn't bad when he was playing at times. We brought him in for 20k. We loaned him straight out to Cardiff. He'd done okay. And came back and done okay. It was more of a rotation. Blaine Hudson. Yes, I remember Blaine. He was quite a strong player for when I first came in and had him. Danny Redmond. We've looked at Jordan Williams. He was a fantastic player when he hit form. Was just creeping on a little bit. Of the time through 36 and 2029, so take 5 years off. Yeah, he was about 31 when we sold him to Braintree. And he enjoyed a great time there. Jamie Taylor, he was bang average for us really, but retired at the age of 29, quite young to retire. But when we first started out and the money that we sort of had and the players that were here, it was a very different time. But transfer budget of 22,375,000 a week for a club like TNS is unbelievable. We're getting in Patrick Lewandowski in 2 years from Ajax. Hopefully his development can kick off and continue in 2 years. So after 2 years, I really hope that Lewandowski can continue to develop and strive at Ajax, and that he can develop into a great player. He would be a superb signing as recommended by the scouts for the future. So I hope he continues to play in the young Ajax and gains that experience and can become something of a great player for TNS and has some great seasons, and then goes on and becomes of more value and such a great player. But he has 2 more years of development. We paid something like £2 million for him because we got the money available, and we can start investing in the squad and young players and going out and buying players from the likes of Ajax and certainly young players and spending that kind of money to develop the future. I've always worked on a shoestring budget as such because I haven't wanted to spend loads. But like when you look at the kind of players that I was bringing in when I first started, or was a couple of years in, £49,500 up to 200k was sort of the budget of players we were looking at, and they came in and were amazing players. Like Reece Hutchinson was a fantastic player for that money, value for absolute money. He was, and he's a club great. And I can still find these great players at such cheap prices. But if you have the opportunity to go and spend this money and start developing the club, to take it to higher levels and start attracting better young players and better senior players, and hopefully start to do well in Europe, these are the kind of investments you've got to make. And if the club can start to excel and move forward and start to make more money, this club is really going places. But I'm really excited to see the future of this club and keep monitoring. Okay, we lost £2 million last season. We've lost 237,000 this month. But when you look at it, when you've got a budget of 39 million in your overall balance, and it's gone up and up and up every year. It's fluctuated sometimes where it's just dropped off, but that's grown massively. 8 million in 2026 to 39. 5 years, and the budget has gone up by 21 million. How many clubs at Welsh League status or of a stature of TNS finances have gone up by 21 million in a 5-year period? TNS squad are going on break. They're going to have a much deserved holiday. I've been really appreciative of the 10 years I've spent with some of these players and some of these coaches and just here at the club. I'm gutted to be moving on. I feel really sad, but I am really looking forward to going to Newcastle, which is going to be really exciting to get into the Premier League, really exciting to step up and manage some of the players we have and identify different transfer targets, and to see whether we can get into Europe with Newcastle will be really interesting. I'll just check in a minute where they have finished this year. So if I go to Newcastle, who I'm taking over, fifth in the Premier League. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so there's a few games left to go, 3 games left on their accounts. See, Brentford was a job that was attractive to me because I believe that they're going to be relegated. If they would have to wait for Palace to lose both and they'd have to win both to stay up. But if they were to get relegated, they're rich, and if they were to sack their manager, go into the Championship and trying to get Brentford promoted would have been really interesting. And showing that I could go from Welsh League to winning a Championship or gaining that promotion and building a good record with Brentford, and then moving on to someone like Newcastle would have been ideal. But the opportunity to bypass that and to take over Newcastle has been really interesting. I don't think I'm going to have as much success with Newcastle as I have had with TNS. 18 cups and 10 league titles in 10 years with TNS, only losing 2 cup finals in that time, having a 10-year league winning streak, breaking endless records for points won, goals scored, goal difference, number of wins in the season, points, setting runs on number of games won over periods. Everything to do with that has been truly amazing, and it's going to be a different job with Newcastle. Not as much success. I hope to have as much success, but it's going to be a completely different ball game. I'm finally looking forward to managing in the FA Cup, and especially in the Premier League, and the vibe and the buzz around those kinds of games, and to come up against some of the opposition that we will come up against, and hopefully do a good enough job. And someone like Chelsea, who I support as my Premier League team, will come knocking and go, right, you've done a great job at Newcastle, time to step up and try and challenge for the Premier League. But it would be amazing to challenge for the Premier League with Newcastle. That would be really interesting. They've got a transfer budget of 64 million, which is a good transfer budget to have. But when you look at the likes of City, United, Chelsea, and the amount of money that they will have available, City, could have like £200-300 million available in their transfer budget, and we're trying to compete with that. It's not going to happen. So trying to get into Europe and play European teams and trying to make more money that way, and give those players that experience, and just to develop as a manager in that way, is really interesting. And is where we're thinking of going. But to win a few domestic cups would be fantastic, and definitely to show that work off with Newcastle. Okay, Gavin Yates could be going to Sutton. See, these kind of transfers and dealings, when they're smaller clubs from the National League or Championship 2, Championship 1. I'm not going to be dealing with these young players as much, with these clubs as much in terms of transfers, because they're coming in all the time for our young players, and certainly sometimes first team players, and it's on to trying to deal with Tottenham and Chelsea and Arsenal, City, United, and seeing what players we can sort of pinch from there, and then look from there. Pressure built on Van Bronckhorst as Elliot Jones wants to leave Aston Villa to come and play for TNS. Usually you wouldn't find players wanting to leave a club like Aston Villa, playing at a decent club in a good league, to sort of come to TNS in a way, because they feel that they could stay at Aston Villa and try and forge a bigger move into a Championship club, if they're coming out of a Premier League team, for example. But this is a fantastic move if he was to come to TNS. The biggest club in Wales. They've dominated everything. They've got fantastic facilities. They're certainly a club on the way up. They pay very well. They're challenging for domestic cups. Their players are breaking into the youth team. Players have played for their national teams. Records can be broken and will be broken. It's a fantastic place to come to TNS. So instead of writing it off, we're starting to attract players to come and play for us, because our reputation over that 10-year build which we have had has been fascinating. And you know, I think this could be a great save if I was to continue and try and extend on to 20 years and see the amount of work that I could do over at the club and over that period of time. Okay, so here we go. One more day left as the official TNS manager. European playoff places final. Connors Quay versus Penabon. Connors Quay 1-0. You know, not fascinating to many in terms of that kind of game and those teams. But you know, it's on the new horizons now, and this is the day where it will come. Once I check out at 5 o'clock tonight at TNS and I finished the day, my final day with the club after over 3,600 days, it is time to move on to Newcastle. 465 wins, 44 draws and only 63 defeats, 10 league titles, 18 cups. My first game will be in charge against Tottenham in the Euro Cup. I will be facing pressure to bring immediate success at St James's Park. Having stepped up from previous standing, take sole charge. I will need to hit the ground running if I am to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. Some factions in the media have been touting myself as a favourite for the job all along, and my appointment has created much discussion around the club. TNS will be looking for a new manager. Emerson Boyce, Chris Gunter, who I'm finally pleased has decided to move out of head of development, youth development, into a coaching role. Sam Hutchinson, Nathan Jones, Kenny Jackett, Steve Clark and Mick McCarthy will all join me as I move on. Kenny Jackett, Steve Clark and Mick McCarthy will all join up as scouts. Emerson Boyce will step down from assistant manager into coach. Chris Gunter moves out of head of youth development into first team coach. The new Saints legend was born in Newport on the 1st of November 1990. 10-time winner of the JD Cymru Premier with the Saints, brings a wealth of experience with him. I have earned myself a reputation for signing high-profile players and appears to be a great fit for the club's current vision at St James's Park. I prefer to use a 4-2-3-1 wide formation. I have lifted the JD Premier with TNS in April and will now be afforded the chance to enhance my reputation by bringing success to the new club. Newcastle finished second in the Premier League following a 10-match unbeaten run. Wow, second. Wow, Champions League football second. Now that is an absolute job to be done. Finances are okay. £64 million transfer budget, £4.6 million weekly budget. Performance last year, second in the Premier League, knocked out in the FA Cup 4th round. They made the Euro Cup final, Carabao Cup 4th round, second, and a European final. The Champions League football, they qualified for it as well. You know, my assistant manager is João Sacramento. What an assistant manager. The media are predicting 6th. So, you know, for me, it definitely has to be 2nd and 6th, which has to be done. Anything outside of that could be tough. Joe Gomez is leaving on a free transfer to go to Monaco. Okay, Illich is leaving to go to Lazio. These two are not really well known to me as such. Well, one's a regen, so I don't know him. That's a long name. He's on loan till 2031, so we'll be returning next month. Yeah, all returning. Ivan Illich is leaving anyway. Okay, scheduled press conference, yes, every fortnight will be fine. Okay, searching for a new affiliate club, that is great. Vincent's move is delayed to a work permit. Well, that should have already been done. yes, I want him in, so I hope that gets done. This is already more professional than my final club. Let's have a quick look. Okay, he's 35 years of age, 133 caps to his name, played 190 league games for Newcastle. Fringe player, might be past his best. 105k per week. Is it worth him coming back in? Do we take a look at him? Well, pre-season will tell. This expires in 2031. Has a 1-year contract extension. Okay, let's trigger that extension and delay the rest for the time being, just because I think he has that experience, and I feel that he could be used even for 1 more year, and even if he isn't, then we can get rid. Okay, so I'm taking over before the Euro Cup final in 10 days. If I win this, then this is a robbery. But Roberto Di Zerbi, he's managed Roma and Bayern, previously Newcastle, Lazio, Shakhtar, Sassuolo. Oh, he's got a wealth of managerial experience. He's on 150k a week. He's only been in charge for 3 days away from 2 years. 58% win ratio, 23 losses and 114. He has never won a cup. He has spent £1 billion as a manager. Okay, so let's have a quick look whether this signing. Oh yes, of course. Okay, spent 92 million on this boy, Shirky. He's not had a bad season considering. Okay, wow, the pressure is on. Come and take over before a cup final, and we will judge you from them and put you under pressure. Okay, let's have a quick look at my staff. Okay, so I think João Sacramento's tactical judgment is quite high. 16. Okay, his stats are very good. Okay, let's quickly go into the league again. Where is Spears? There's Spears. Okay, let's look at their staff. Let's look at their assistant manager, Alexandre Silva. Okay, Sacramento does have better tactical judgment. Let's have a quick look at the manager. Okay, he does have better tactical judgment than the manager as well. Okay, let's hope that works in our favour. Staff. We're 12 out of 10 on staff overall. We have space for 3 more scouts and his medical staff. I'll sort all that out at the end of the season or over pre-season. Let's look at our tactics and what we're working on. Let's look at Gen Press. Okay, 4-2-3-1 wide, confirm. Okay, let's bring in load the tactics that I got saved. That one is the one that I like to use. Create new tactic. Yes, yes, yes. Load. Find the one that I've actually been using. That, okay. Saved after Nagelsmann. Okay, hopefully. Okay, let's go into staff. Let's go into responsibilities. Okay, I hate changing responsibilities because it takes ages. Provides opposition instructions. I'm going to delegate that to Sacramento. Leads team talks. I'm going to delegate to Sacramento. Touchline opposition. Delegate to Sacramento. Friendlies. I hate managing friendlies, so Sacramento can do that. individual training, I'm going to delegate that to Sacramento. Okay. Hiring and firing. I like to take all of these because I like to have pure control of these. No director or technical director will tell me what to do. I will take charge of the entire staff right throughout the club, because that's what a manager should do. I'm not a head coach, I am a manager. As much as it's good to have a technical director who does a lot of this and should be in support, and a director of football, then a lot of this should come down to me as gaffer. And those scouting meetings, well, I will delegate that to Victor Orta because he is fantastic at that. Staff. General training, I can delegate that to Sacramento. Didn't see that one, let's just confirm that. Okay, under 18s contracts, yes, I want to take charge of that, because I want all the staff throughout the club to know that I am the gaffer, but to make sure that I get the staff that I want and need in. Okay, busy. Okay, Joe Sacramento, fantastic. I've met him in real life. Great coach and great assistant manager. So much time for him. He has been delegated a lot of responsibility. Okay, let's have a quick look. Dominic Tyler was top goal scorer. 10 Manager of the Year Awards achievement, thank you very much. Was top goal scorer, wanted by Man United, bought for 22 million. He was wanted at 40, he's valued at minimum 44 million. If we were to go higher, that would wipe us out. But he was top goal scorer in the league of the club that's being relegated. Eddie Nikita was the second, 31 years of age. Let's try and get a scouting report on him. But it's great to see that the third place did come from us. Now this striker, Martin Satriano, is valued up to 85 million. He is wanted by Man United. He has had a great season and could really develop under us. But if we were to sell him for 80 million, that would take us to a transfer budget over 100 million, and we could make the right investments. Golden Gloves, second place was Newcastle, Lafont, which was us, which is fantastic. I'm glad that, you know, our players are leading in stats, but puts a lot of pressure on, of course. Edison, 37 years of age, third place for City, 595 league games, 488 City, 50 caps. Now, what a player he is and what a career he has had. Team of the year, we've had Kluivert, this guy, Hamed Hodzic, 2 players in Team of the Year as well. I've won Manager of the Year for I think 10 years in a row. Just going to quickly end that meeting for the time being. Just because I want to progress forwards slightly. Let's have a quick look at the squad. Now, usually I would have praised the squad and looked at the squad before I would take over. But I actually didn't, and I just jumped straight into taking over here at Newcastle. Okay, he already looks terrible, but he's leaving, but he is one of the subs, so let's remove him. Okay, there's big investment needed in the squad. Joe Gomez is leaving. How many games did he play this year? Okay, he's only played 8. Got Conor Gallagher, which is a good player, or who is a good player, sorry. Played 40 games this year. I really hope he breaks into the Chelsea side this year and does quite well. That would be great to see. Telsman. He's wanted by Roma and Atletico Madrid at the age of 34. Still have opportunities to go out and play in Spain and Italy is amazing. But 583 league games for him. What a player he is in real life. It'll be interesting to see how much longer he will stay at Leicester for. Okay, let's introduce myself. I won't be making any promises yet. Qualify for Champions Cup, brilliant, that's what I wanted to hear. Let's go on. Oh, disappointed because I said let's go on and win. Yeah, I'm just going to say that. Some players are offended and insulted because I've said we have the capabilities of winning a final, and they're already going into the final going, well, we're not going to win it because we're not good enough as players. Okay, time to meet the media. There's time some new media people. What's the question? Hi Luca, what are your thoughts on taking over the Newcastle job? It's a privilege and I am excited for the future. Over your career, you've become well known for a distinctive brand of football. Do you think it's a good fit for your new team? Yes, I'm going to go with that one. In leaving your previous job to take over Newcastle, you disappointed a number of TNS supporters. Well, it's going to come either way, no matter where you go and come from. Yes, let's go with that. I hope they do understand. The facilities at the club are fantastic. Delighted with facilities. Yes, you will cultivate a strong dressing room atmosphere in your last job, or were able to, sorry. Will that help you fulfill? It's imperative. What's the question? This is a big step up for you. Are you nervous? It's a big jump. Hopefully I'll match your ambitions. I couldn't be happy with the squad. Just jumping through these questions now. Fan base is amazing. What is your opinion of the potential long-term success? As far as I'm concerned, we should want to be the best team in the world. Absolutely. No reservations, no. Let's go with that one. Well, he's asking me about another manager and his transfer decisions, but that's not really nothing to do with me. I'm neutral. Let's go with a neutral answer there. Don't really know the manager or the league well enough at the moment to sort of make that decision or judgment, or to even give feedback on it, because I've just arrived. I don't want to be upsetting managers or players straight away. I have no right to talk about it when these managers have been in this league and I've just arrived. So we've got 8 days to go, 8 days of work, hopefully that we're doing on the pitch in preparation of this Euro Cup final. Tottenham versus Newcastle. Just have a quick look at the league. Okay, 21 wins, 11 draws, 6 losses, 58, 4, 34, 24 and 74. Okay. Finished 3rd the year before that. 9th, which is a bit more realistic. Typical United finishing 8th. Liverpool won the league, then City won the league, and City have won the league again. It looks like any manager who would be managing Man United, the step up would be to come from Man United to Newcastle. But it is great to see Newcastle up and around these areas. They're a very historic club, rich of history. And it's such a shame that they're no longer up and around it anymore. I would have loved to have experienced when Newcastle were up challenging for the league and winning league titles, and the squad that they would have had alongside Blackburn Rovers. And it's a shame that I didn't get to see that, but knowing around it and the buzz, and you know, looking at history and listening to the likes of Kevin Keegan and Kenny Dalglish when they were managers around those times, is what was really interesting. Four days to go. Hopefully we're doing some great work. Three days to go. Mbappe claims Player of the Year in Spain. What a player he has been for Real Madrid. Two days to go before Tottenham host Newcastle, or Tottenham play Newcastle in the Euro Cup final. I've taken over with 10 days before. Previous manager Mourinho had led them here. They ended the season on a 10-game winning run, finished second in the league. There's a lot of work to do. 2 days to go. Let's hope it all applies. Spurs obviously have a very strong squad, a very experienced manager. They've had the entire season with their manager. The final is in Bulgaria, but I've just come in, literally 10 days to work with the squad, and I could already be judged for the year ahead coming from TNS based off this final, considering that I have just come in as manager. Okay, Shay Given is a coach who is available. I'm going to add him to my shortlist for a year. Newcastle legend. Team meeting. Let's save this because we do have a bunch of moany so-and-sos so far who are underestimating themselves and lack that confidence. Drink it in. Okay, they're alright with that. They just want to experience the final without any expectation, and there's nothing wrong with that. Although I do prefer to win and go all out, really. Okay, let's attend the press conference with the journalists. Let's just quickly fly through all of these because press conferences can take a long time. Okay, the nerves are on. Imagine coming in and winning the Euro Cup final. Now that would introduce myself onto the scene. It would introduce myself as Newcastle manager. Okay, there's been some success there at Arsenal from Antonio Conte. Kamara has concerns. He's valued between 18 and 23 million. He wasn't used as much this year when he was brought for 32.5 million. Defensive centre-back, defensive midfielder. Well, I've just come in really and you're complaining to me and you need to go, right, I need to give you a chance, Gaffer. But if he is wanted, the club will make a loss, but I'm willing to sell a player who hasn't really looked like he's fit into the squad and bump up the amount of money we have available, especially while the team wants him. Now, there is also this player, Alvaro Fernandez, 33 years of age. It seems like there's an aging squad here, so there's investment to be had and done. He's valued between 14.5 to 15.5 million. He's only played 5 games this year, starting 1, but when he has, his form's been brilliant and he's got good stats. Has a lot of fantastic experience, but he seems to be more like our backup goalkeeper now. So let's offer him the clubs and see whether we can try and get some money on him, especially whilst he is worth something. Okay, Nice has offered money and so has Porto, but they want us to pay money, whereas Real, Sebastian, Atletico and Bilbao have not, but Bilbao's is significantly less, first up, but more. But I'm happy to sell a backup goalkeeper who's unhappy for at least £10 million to add on to my transfer budget and to start investing in the squad and start getting some fresh faces and names in there. Okay, so here we go, Euro Cup final. I've only had 10 days preparation with this squad. João Sacramento, my assistant manager, has helped me pick the squad. He has helped me deliver the high quality training. We come up against a very good Tottenham side who have had a year with their manager, who know their tactics, who are experienced, who do have depth and quality. Okay, into the final we go. Okay, that is a very good squad here from Spurs. I don't know anything about my squad really. I've only had 10 days to take over the team. It looks like there needs to be a lot of investment. There's some aging players in there. Considering that Newcastle qualified for Europe 2 years in a row, they played Champions League football, they finished second, they're in a Euro Cup final, and they've only been given a £64 million transfer budget with an aging squad. It is going to be a tough job. Now the expectation is to finish between 2nd and 6th, obviously, because 2nd is where Newcastle had finished this year. So if a new manager comes in and finishes less than that, then questions are asked. But we don't want to finish below 6th, especially after 2 great previous seasons that Newcastle have had. So there is work to be done. Okay, it is a fairly even game at the minute. Spurs seem to have more of the advantage at the minute in terms of their shots. They're getting more shots off than us, but we have 88% pass completion, 58% off the possession. We just need to try and get more shots off and more on target. We've committed less fouls, thankfully. Okay, that's jumped straight up until half-time. 0-0. We're playing quite average on the ratings, 6.5, 6.6, 6.6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.9, 6.5, 7.2, 7.3, 6.8, 7.3. Our defence seem to be doing the absolute best. Okay, 4 shots, 2 on target, 5 shots, 2 on target. Let's try and work the ball into the box. These players have only had 10 days to work on my style and these tactics, and how do we try and get these players performing. I really believe there's investment that's needed, looking at the ages of some of these players, but obviously I would like to get in some players that would be mine in a sense. Okay, he's on a yellow card, not performing too great. Can we swap him there? Yes, let's get on Portora. Who else is underperforming? 6.3. Let's get on Jared Bowen. Let's see whether he can make a difference. Okay, he's 6.3. Luke Thomas at left back, and he's on a yellow. So let's swap him out. Come on. Oh, come on. If he should have got his cross off quicker and earlier. Come on, let's score off the corner. No. Good defending. No, yes, we've won it back. We need to press and win those kinds of balls. Oh, good save. Very good save from the very experienced Lafont. 10 minutes left in normal time. Okay, Trubin for Spurs has been very good at the back. This goalkeeper. Pulisic, Lafont again. We've had 11 shots, only 2 on target. They've had 9 shots, 4 on target. '89th minute, and we concede on the 89th minute. Come on, make it 1-1. Is that a pen? Please. Yes. Score. Can look. Oh, he has scored. 1-1 on the 92nd minute. Okay. Extra time. Our subs have been used. It is 2-2. Penalty in the final minutes. Oh, sorry. Yes, we do have other subs available to us. We're going to try and use these wisely. Pedro is not having a great game. Let's swap him. See whether boy that we're bringing on can make a difference and provide us with that energy. We've had 14 shots, 5 on target. Come on, Newcastle. I would love to absolutely win this final and say, look, I'm here. I've won cups. I can continue to bring cups. You've done some great work this year. You shall be rewarded with it. Let's bring the motivation of the players up. Let's try and get some more money into Newcastle so we can invest in our squad much more than we have. And you know, let's try and get off to a positive start next year. Yes, come on, get it. Hey. Come on. 15 minutes to go. Come on, Newcastle. Come on, Newcastle. Do not concede. Let's. No, we've conceded. Say do not concede, and we've ended up conceding off a very good strike there. We should have got out and pressed him, stopped him getting on the ball. Spurs can be very happy. Oh, he's broke the line. Great save from Lafont again. Spurs are doing very well on corners under pressure. This is a very even game. Eight minutes to go. 7 minutes to go. If we could score one in that time, that would be amazing. 3 minutes to go. Come on. Get that ball back towards the box. Come on. Oh. Let's get the ball back. Get the ball forwards. Yeah, we like to keep the ball. We try to go home before going forwards, but we don't want to do that. We just want to try and get the ball forward. Oh, get him off. Far too late in the game to be off, but we're in a great position for this cross. Trubin has handled the ball well again. Yes, come on, break the line, get the ball across. Great defending. If that ball across the box had gone across, we would have had a great opportunity. Now we're into penalties. Okay, so who's 16-5? Tobido. Let's move him in front of Dodo or Dodo. And let's get Lafont last. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on. So close to that save then. Okay, that's a great penalty. Come on, save. Yes, come on. Satriano. Good finish. Come on. Let's miss or save. Yes, he saved it again. Come on, Jared Bowen. Okay, good. Come on. Pulisic. Oh, Lafont. What a save. We have won it on penalties. We have won the European Cup. To come in and to win the European Cup, we thoroughly deserved that. Introduce myself to the Premier League, introducing myself to Newcastle fans, coming out of TNS, coming out of this league. Well done. Come on, that's another cup as manager. My first European Cup. What, I've managed in Europe for what, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 years, and we have won a European Cup. I am absolutely over the moon. The club thoroughly deserve this. The players deserve it. That was tremendous final. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. Should have done that press conference there. I was a little bit too eager. That was amazing. Lafont was absolutely man of the match. Last game, I thought you were brilliant. He was fantastic. Give the man a 10-year contract. That is the Newcastle way. 7.35 million has been awarded to the club. That is money that we need. Medals, total of 25 medals being awarded to these following players. That's cool. So even if there's a lot of players, look, there's 25 medals. There's 2 players who didn't even come off the bench or even play, and they're getting medals. Thank you very much. Pleases the board. I am absolutely ecstatic. He had 7 saves and conceded 2, but had a rating of 9. He saved 3 penalties. He was amazing. That was fantastic. That was excellent. I'm so pleased. It also creates more expectation for the year ahead. But I think that is a fantastic point to finish this episode on. I've really enjoyed the last hour and a half. I've enjoyed this episode. We've come to Newcastle. We've absolutely started off well. I'm really proud of the team, but I think this is a great point to leave it before moving on to the next episode and further work that we do in Newcastle. How we start off pre-season, the players that we look at and identify. You know, what players we sell, the complete rebuild, and how we move on, and what kind of pre-season games we go on to, and how we look to work on the season ahead. But that was a fantastic episode. We're going to leave it there. 10 years at TNS is done. We've decided to move on now. I'm really proud of the team, proud of all the efforts. But if you want, you can catch me on Twitch and YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter. This has been sponsored by the Reflective Coach podcast. You can listen to that on Spotify, Anchor and YouTube. You can also find that on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. This